Hi and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this really simple fillable form in Word using some text boxes, some checkboxes and some drop down menus. So let's open a new document. So the first thing we need to do is make sure our developer tab is up at the top here, and if you can't see it you need to go to Word and Preferences. You need to go to Ribbon and Toolbars, and then down on the right hand side here, all the way down at the bottom, you'll see this Developer tab here. Make sure that's checked and then save it. Once you've done that, you'll see this Developer tab at the top here, and if you click on it, you'll see a whole variety of different options here. So we'll be using these options here, but first of all, what we need to do is to create our form. So first is first, let's just pop in a title. Press the return key twice, and then I'm just going to quickly go to the Home tab, increase the font size, and just pop an underline underneath there. Perfect. Now we're just going to go to Insert, Table, click on the drop down, go to Insert Table. I'm just going to select 2 rows and 2 columns. You can just use this little down arrow here just to click and increase or decrease the number of columns and rows. Then click OK. Now these rows for me are always a little bit too narrow, so I'm going to select the whole table by clicking on this little square here. Go to Table Layout at the top and then go to Height, and in Height I'm just going to select Height, press 1 and press Enter. That will give us a nice height for each of our rows, and then I'm going to go to this area here. This tells Word where you want your text to lie in each cell. So it's the alignment of your text. So I'm going to align to center left. And then because my table is currently selected, I'm going to move this line over to the left. And as you can see, as I hover over it, it changes. I'm going to click and move that over to the left-hand side. Now I'm not going to put all my rows in just now. I'm going to do them as I go along in order to help you understand how to do it. So first of all, we'll just type in the first element, which is name. And then in this area here, this is where you want your user to type their name. So to make this a fillable form, go to the Developer tab and pop in a text box. Now here, once you've protected it, which is this icon here, if you click on it, you can see all this is currently grayed out. And what this means is that your user will just simply click here and just begin to type. And as you can see, it's got this grey background, which means that they're typing into that text box. Now you can take off the shading if you want to, just so it's a bit more aesthetically pleasing. But for now, I'm just going to keep it on so that we can see what we're doing. So I'm just going to delete all of those. And then I've also just deleted that little text area. So I'm going to unprotect the form and click text box. Then in the next one down, I'm just going to type address. And the same here, just go to text box and click text box. Now you can see we've run out of rows, so we're going to go to Table Layout and we're going to go to this icon here, which is Insert Below. And then all we need to do is just keep clicking just to add more rows for our fillable form. So in the next row down, I'm just going to type in email, and once again, we're just going to go to the Developer tab and click text box. Now then I'm going to leave a space here because I'm going to start a new section. So in this section here, I'm going to add another title. But I don't want all of my text on 2 lines. So what I can do is I can just select these 2 cells, hover my cursor over the top of this line and just pull that one line over to the right, giving me a little bit more space. Now in here, I actually want to put a drop-down menu. So if you put your cursor inside this cell, go to Combi Box, and as you can see, you've got another shaded area, but it doesn't look any different from the text ones. But double click, and then this menu will appear. Now in here, in the top, you need to put all the selections that you want in your drop-down menu. So for example, I'm going to put in Human Resources, and then press Enter. Then I can put in IT, press Enter, and then let's say I want to put accounts and press Enter. Now, for the user to understand exactly what they need to do, I'm going to put a little bit of a title on here. So I'm going to put select 1, and then press enter. Now, in order for this select one to be the title, I need to make sure it's at the top of the list. So make sure it's selected and use this arrow here to move it up the list to the top. Once you've done that, come down to bookmark and just pop a title in here. So I'm just going to put it in position and then click OK. Now you can see we've got select one as our title, but nothing else comes up, such as a little arrow. However, when you protect the form, that little arrow appears, and then you can go on here and select which one you want. So we'll go back to select one, and then we'll go to unprotect the form so we can carry on editing the rest of our form. Next, I'm going to do a slightly different question. So I'm just going to type in driving license. And then I want to put a yes or no tick box in here. So what I'm going to do is divide this cell into 4. So select it, go to table layout, go to split cells, and I want number of columns to be 4. So I'm just going to increase that by 2 and select 4. Then I'm going to select this cell here. I want to put yes in here, a click box in here, a checkbox in here. So go to developer, select checkbox. I'm going to put no in here, and then I'm going to put the checkbox in here. Now I think that this text is a bit too far away from this box, so I'm just going to pop my cursor next to the text. Then I'm going to go to table layout. Then I'm going to change the alignment of my text over here to right align and do the same with no, so that they're closer to each other. So that's how you then use a text box. So if I go to the developer tab and I protect the form as if I was the user, they'll just go onto here and check that box. And then if they want to check no, they can check no and uncheck by clicking again. Okay, so let's unprotect the form. And then we're going to leave another space. And then we're going to add some more rows. So go to table layout, and then just insert some more rows below. So here, another question, and then developer tab, and then add a text box. And then for the next one, we've got a much longer question. So what I'm now going to do is I'm actually going to select both of these text boxes, go to table layout and select merge. So I've now merged those two cells together to allow me lots of room for this question. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to then select these 6 cells and I'm going to go to merge and select those. Then I'm going to go to table design up here. Then I'm going to change the alignment of my text to top left. Then go to developer and then pop in that text box at the beginning here so the user can then begin to type throughout this cell here, giving them lots of rooms. Now I am going to take out lots of these lines at the end so it looks like the original form that I showed you, but I'm going to do all that at the end. Next, I'm going to do another long question. So again, go to table layout and select merge. And then once again, I'm going to insert some more rows below, but this time I'm just going to zoom out. I'm going to insert them all below until they come to the bottom and create an extra row. Then press Command or Control Z to go back one step so that I now know that's the amount of rows that I can put on my form. So go back to the form. Then I'm just going to put in college or school. Once again, go back to developer, select text box, select text box. Then I'm going to leave a space and then I'm going to create another long question. So before I go through to this last question, what I will do is just go up to see, are there any spaces that I've missed that I need to input into my table? So I've got a space here, that's nice and relevant. I've got one here. This is the next section, but actually I'd quite like to have a break between these two here. Now, if I've forgotten to do it, that's no problem. Just select the cell below, go to table layout and go to insert above. And there you can see we've got an additional cell to create a space. So then I can go back to editing at the bottom to make sure that everything fits perfectly. So here I'm going to leave a space, then I'm going to merge this cell here, go to merge and select another question. And then I'm just going to select all of these cells at the bottom and then I'm just going to merge. Perfect. So let's just zoom out and see our application form. You can see we've got this additional row at the top here. So just select it, right click, select delete cells, and then just click OK. So now let's select the table, go to table design, and over here, this is all the control you have for your border lines. So let's click on the drop down here and select no borders, deselect, and you can see that all the border lines have now vanished. So select the table again, go to borders, click on the drop down and go to view grid lines. Now this allows you to see your table without the grid lines actually being there at all. So if you printed this out, there wouldn't be any grid lines. So what we can do is just select the areas we want grid lines around. So I'm going to select these 3 cells, go to borders, click on the drop down and select all borders, and then deselect, and you can see that border lines have been put round those top 3 cells. Again with this one, I'm going to select this cell here, go to borders, click on the drop down, but this time I'm just going to select outside borders. Now what you can see is we've got this little line here that's gone between the 2. We don't want that. So what we can do is just select these 2 cells and then just move this one line over, select these 2 cells, go to the borders, click on the drop down, and then uncheck this one that says inside border. And you can see now it's just disappeared. So you have to play around with these border lines, selecting the above or below, that sort of thing. So here, we're going to select these 2 cells and go to borders and select outside borders. Same with this one and select outside borders, but it's already selected here, so you can just click. You don't have to go on the drop down. Same with this one here. You can just do outside border, and then the same for this cell here, outside border. And then with these 2 cells, outside border. And actually we want the inside border here, so you can just click on the drop down. You can either select all borders or just click inside border. And finally this one at the bottom here, just select outside border. Then go to borders, click on the drop down and uncheck view grid lines. You can see we've got one row up here, so what we can do is just go back to the grid lines. So let's just pop the grid lines back in, and you can see it's the one in between here, these 2 cells as well. So let's see if we can take that one out, which we can't because you see it's not checked. So what we need to do is, again, we need to move this border line over. So let's just move this line over here, then select them both, and then hopefully you can see it's been checked here. Just uncheck it and it will get rid of that line. Okay, so then just take off the grid lines and zoom out. Perfect. So now you've got your form sorted. What you can do is make some decisions on whether you want these grey boxes to appear or not. You can see this one at the bottom isn't there, so let's just correct that. Go to table layout, align the text at the top, go to the developer tab and pop in a text box, and then you can now protect your form. So now the form's protected, you can tell because everything's greyed out. You can make a decision on whether you want the shading on or off. Now I like to have my shading off because it doesn't affect the usability of it. It just means that your client just pops the information into these boxes, but it can't see the grey stuff. I think the grey shading is great for when you're editing to make sure that you've got everything in place, but then I like to just switch that off. So once your form is protected, you can now send that to your client. You can save it as a PDF, or you can just print it out and you can send it off so that somebody can write on the form itself. So I hope that's helped you today. If it has, please like and subscribe and have a great day.